loves, it is Tatiana Volkt here of My Many Interests, and this week's reading vlog objective is to focus on my tabletop TBR picks and try to read through as many of them as I can this week. Alright, so I just finished filming the What I've Been Reading Lately reading wrap-up video that I just did recently. Hopefully I will remember to film stuff. I do have the kittens here. Actually, I keep forgetting they're not kittens anymore. They are cats. So here is Oscar. Say hi to the YouTube. Hi, handsome boy. We do have Lucy down here. There we go. There we go. Okay, yeah, so hopefully I'll get a lot of fun footage of them throughout the week. Gotta try and keep you awake so you don't wake me up in the middle of the night. Okay, I also realized that in addition to doing our normal reading vlog, that this is going to be a heavy studio vlog because I'm going to be prepping for my shop launch, which is launching or should be launching on the 16th of this month and staying open indefinitely. I should have mentioned that in the last video about my Patreon rewards speed paint vlog. So I'll have that link down below if you haven't checked it out already, but yeah, a lot of art stuff in that. But this video, we should be setting up some of the stuff on the website, possibly printing out some new prints for the shop myself, which I normally don't do. I'm manufacturing most of my prints, but there's a couple that I want to do a small batch of so that I can add it to the shop. And I have everything that I need to print it at home. I just normally don't because it's very time consuming, but I think I might do that a little bit more if I keep the shop open. We'll kind of see how things go. So stay tuned for some art shop prep studio vlog stuff. Then in addition to that, I have picked out the first book that I plan on reading for this get all of my tabletop TBR picks out of the way vlog. So I decided to pick the biggest book that I have on the TBR, which is Legendborn by Tracy Dion. And I don't know, I just am in the mood for more magical, whimsy, fantasy stuff. So I'm excited to see what this is about. I haven't started Legendborn yet because I do want to get this video out. It's supposed to go up tomorrow. Good morning. So today is Sunday, April 11th. I'm gonna try shooting this again because I got a little bit emotional, but I did start reading Legendborn and it wasn't what I was expecting. It's definitely a modern time situation. We have our main character who is going to a early college program. So she's not actually in college, but she's like an early accepted student. And yeah, it's a girl in college, but there is fantastical things that are happening in the real world is kind of how this is situated. And so far I'm finding it interesting and I'm excited to see how it goes. I think I'm still pretty early on into it, so we'll see how it turns out. Then in addition to that, because I am supposed to be launching my shop this coming week, so I started working on some planner icons that I can use to make little sticker sheets specifically for my own planner, but I figured if I go through the trouble of making them that I can add them to my shop at some point. I don't know if they'll actually make it for the shop launch this week, but it is something that'll hopefully end up in the shop at some point, and I'll take you along the ride whenever that happens. In addition to that, I did finish uploading the reading wrap-up that's going out today on the 11th. So I included a Stop Asian Hate little section in my description that includes a GoFundMe link and also a link to Anna's video, which kind of talks about the 6 Asian women who had been murdered not that long ago and her personal experience as an Asian woman and an Asian creator and some of the just awful things that she has experienced. And and it's not okay. It's not okay to do this to anyone. So please consider donating to the link down below and listening to the videos of Asian creators talking about their experiences and their feelings towards this. I do have linked down below, and I might add more in the future as I come across other really impactful videos. Now I am just going to be working on some Patreon stuff, and I will get back to you a little bit later. I think I need to sit here and be emotional, so.
We just talked about anti-Asian hate. Now do it again and again, louder, with different types of people, and with the knowledge and hope that we don't have to be in this fight alone. We can find ways to protect ourselves while supporting other vulnerable communities.
Okay, so I am currently going through all of the products that I have for the shop and organizing my product cabinet so that it's easier for me to get to everything when I'm packaging Patreon or shop orders. So first off, I am really far into Legendborn and I'm really liking it. When I first started, like the first couple of chapters, I was all like, I don't know, not sure where this is going. Definitely got into it. Definitely love all that's going on so far. We are at an interesting spot, so things may change, but we'll see. I'm so close to the end. I don't know if this is part of a series. I'm going to be very disappointed if it is, because I'm pretty sure the next book isn't out yet. Should have checked that before I picked this book up. That's the thing that I dislike about series the most, is that you have to wait. I don't know, we will see, but like some very, yeah, this is gonna be part of a series. Okay, so now on the topic of shop stuff, I have set up my little shop cabinet. I've come to the realization as I've been doing my inventory and trying to plan things out that I don't really have enough money right now to do the new stuff that I want to do. So I have a ton of stuff that's going into the shop that hadn't been there before, mostly stuff that was previously like Patreon rewards. So if you missed out on any of the Patreon stuff that I've done previously, now's your chance to get some of that stuff. But I did have a couple of prints that I wanted to do, and I was thinking of maybe printing them in-house. I really like the prints that I ended up getting from Cat Print, so I wanted to continue getting prints from them, and I just can't afford to do an order at the moment. Plus I kind of want to do a big order, so I have like 2 prints that I want to do plus some additional stuff, and that's not where I get my Patreon postcards and stuff. I just get that at a regular card printing place where you get postcards and business cards and things like that. So it's great and it's quick and it's high quality for like what it is. Like it's on thick, nice paper and the print looks good, but it's not the same as fancy art prints, you know? But it is nice to have this whole thing organized. It looks super empty because I put all of the stuff that usually is just like chilling out here. I like organized it in my little file thing, and then I put all of the bookmarks that I have here. I just like rubber band them and lean them up against each other. And then I have my pins and post-it note stuff down here. So everything for the most part is ready. I've taken inventory of everything that's here, and that's for sure gonna go into the shop. So yeah, I think what I'm going to end up doing is open the shop with what I have, all the new stuff that I have now. That being said, I do plan on all of my planner stickers to be in-house, so I could focus on those, but I have a feeling that I'm just not gonna have time to do that until after Mermay, which means it's not gonna go out until June or July, right? Because I'll have to work on it in June, which means it won't be ready until July. So yeah, I might have to just accept that the stuff that I was hoping would be ready for this launch is just gonna have to wait, and hope that people are still interested in what I have. I think it's kind of the best I can do at the moment, sadly. Okay, so I have completed Legendborn and I loved it. It was really, really good. It was very engaging. It had interesting like twists and turns. Things that I expected happened, things that I didn't expect happened. I don't know, it was a fun time. I enjoyed it. I think it ended in a satisfying way, but I'm also really excited to read the next book when it comes out. So I get the hype. I get the hype on this one. I recommend it. I do. And now I need to pick out the next book. Okay, so here are the books that are still left on my TBR. I'm thinking of continuing in a kind of fantasy direction. It also is nice because I think this will be the next witchy book. So I didn't really realize that I picked 2 different witchy books this month. I'm also interested in reading this one. I did see a comment saying that this was pretty good, so I am pretty excited, but I'm not sure if I'm ready to kind of switch over to the more thriller mystery or whatever this is gonna be. So I think I want to stay in the fantasy realm, and I think this is, I guess I don't think, this is the only fantasy-ish book that I still have left on my TBR. Okay, and now on a shop update note, I set up the coupons and everything for Patreon, and I do still need to do the newsletter, but for the most part, the shop is ready to go. I just need to turn on all of the products and add the few new ones. Okay, so I picked up the next book and started reading it. Good morning. Today is Monday, April 12th. I am almost finished with The Near Witch. I wasn't sure what to think about it. A couple of parts I was all like, maybe it's not for me. And then other parts I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. In the end, the first story I would say I really, really enjoyed. We are now on the short story in the back, which is technically related. And it's again one of those stories that I'm kind of like, I know what it is and what the point of it is, and hopefully the ending is interesting enough, but right now I'm kind of like, I would have just been fine not knowing this. Anyway, so I have a couple of minutes before work, and I started putting together you can't see that, but I started putting together my May list of prompts, and as I was writing them down, I realized that like I don't like most of them. They're really dumb in my opinion. So I was trying to like look through the list and pick between them the ones that I like, and I'm like, I don't really like any of these. So part of me kind of wants to do something else. I don't know. I want to have more freedom. I also want to turn it into a art book after. So I want to have a little bit more control over how everything looks, because I'd like it to be a little bit more on the cohesive side. Not sure what I'm going to do in the end. Anyway, I have 7 minutes left, so catch you later. New hair, who dis? I got a new wig and it's so cute. I wanted something that had bangs, so if my lace wasn't on point, I didn't have to worry about like wearing a hat or something. Plus, I kind of miss having bangs. I also got a big like curly one, but with these glasses, I super look like I'm from like the 70s. Although that's cute too. I'm gonna rock it. I finished The Near Witch and I liked it. I wouldn't say that I loved it. I think I'll say it's a 4-star overall. I got really into it. I would say probably a solid 4-star because I did really like it. I did get into it, but I didn't love it. There are a couple of parts that I was all like, eh. I got invested in the general story the further it went along. I liked the characters. I felt like it was pretty simple. Yeah, I liked the witchy aspects. I liked the mystery aspects. I will say it's kind of on the cusp of a solid 4-star or a really high 3-star. I feel like I like it enough that I want to say it's a 4-star. It might be forgettable though. It feels like it might be forgettable. I should start the next book though. which I'm not sure what should we do next. I'm not super excited about this, even though I do want to read the book and I feel like it's going to be a good book. I also feel like it's going to be emotional and kind of sad. So I feel like I'm probably going to keep putting this off, which is probably a good reason for me to pick it up. So these ones I'm not super excited about. The rest I am. Oh, I guess this one also I'm not super excited about, which sucks because this was not a cheap book. So I'm also not excited about that. So that leaves A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which I am excited about. Clap When You Land, which I've read before and I absolutely love, so I'm also excited about that one as well. A Princess in Theory, which is romance, so I'm going to enjoy it, also because it's by Alyssa Cole and I've enjoyed several of her books so far, so excited about that. And then How to Love a Jamaican, which I don't know what exactly to think about that one, but because it's about Jamaicans and I'm Jamaican, I'm excited to give it a go. I think I might just do The Sun Does Shine because it's a short one and it would be good to get some of the ones I'm not as excited about out of the way. Okay, so I just finished the last meeting of the day. I'm having internet problems, which is interesting because like an hour, oh, actually I guess it was a couple of hours ago, like 2 hours ago, I completed an hour-long meeting where there were no internet issues. And then an hour after that, oh, I guess it's 3 hours ago. An hour after that, I had a meeting, started having issues, and they've just persisted. Okay, super excited about this. So I ended up getting my tarot deck that I ended up pre-ordering from an amazing artist that I really admire. Oh, I'm so excited. And I cannot wait to open it up and show you what it looks like. This is a weird box. Okay, let me be careful. Yeah, this box is weird. And that was risky. I could have easily cut into. Amazing! I ended up getting the like limited edition fancy box and everything. So this is by Alba BG and I'll have her linked down below. I'm a huge fan of her art. You can see some of it on the box. This box is really cool. The way that it opens is weird. It's like it opens like this and there's these little tabs that go in there. So it's like a middle, but then it has tabs, like it's supposed to open a different way. I don't know, that's super weird. This tin, oh, look at this. This tin is gorgeous. Gorgeous! It's a hinge open. This, I'm loving this so much. Okay, I should change the camera angle so this could be a proper unboxing. Okay, I have the overhead set up. Let's get into this. I have been waiting for this. I'm so excited. Okay, so we've seen this part already. So we have a little certificate. Look at that. That's so cool, and it's hand signed. Then we have a altar cloth, I believe, which I'm not a huge fan of the material. Oh, and it does have this like chemically smell to it. I will say that this material might actually be pretty nice for altar cloth, specifically for doing tarot though, because I don't know, it seems like it would lay down flat and really nice. And then we have this little velvety bag, which I think is supposed to hold the deck. This also looks like it would be really soft, but it's not as soft as it looks. It does seem like it's a pretty decent quality though. And now we have some of the art that's included in this version. So we have some stickers with gorgeous art on it. It does look like the cut went through a little bit on the back, which I have experience with that when I'm doing stickers, so I know that struggle. Then we have something that's wrapped. I'm not sure what this is. I don't know if this is like an exclusive print or something. Yeah, so we have some of our prints, which I'm really happy with the quality of these. They have a very thin paper quality, but it like looks really nice and feels really nice with the actual like art designs. I don't know what it reminds me of, but I'm really happy with these. So far, my favorite quality wise of all of the things that I've gotten here. Then we have, I think this is a like little oracle deck. I don't remember. Yeah, I think this is an oracle deck, which is based off of, I think, some of her Inktober designs. I'm so glad that I got this in addition to the main deck. So these are pretty thick and the art is just gorgeous. I'm such a huge fan of her art, like such a huge fan. I love what she did with this whole deck. I'm really sad because there was some postcards that featured the art from the tarot deck that sold out before I got a chance to get it, or else I would have also ordered that. Really happy with this little oracle deck here. And then it comes with a little booklet. So it tells you about the oracle and each of the cards. Awesome. I will say though, like, it is a little bit comical how thick the cover is. And now for the deck, the big beauty, the thing I've been waiting for. And then it opens at the bottom and then comes out. That's so bizarre. The deck, okay. Gilded edges. I'm very interested in seeing how thick the actual individual cards are. This is like a gold brick. Like, it's just a gold bar. They're not cards, it's a single gold bar. I kind of want to keep the rest of it together so I can keep making my, it's like, gold bar joke. But okay, more gorgeous art. She has this like grainy texture on everything that I think worked out. Oh my god, these illustrations are amazing. I love the art so much. She did an amazing job with this. This makes me really want to finally get around to finishing my deck, or working on, not even finishing. I only did a couple of thumbnails. I didn't actually finish any of the designs themselves. I will say, which is really disappointing to me, the backs of it are not designed to do reverse cards, which I do reverse cards in my readings, so not being able to do that means that I'm probably not going to use this deck as much as I would like, considering how gorgeous it is. So many decks that I love don't have backs that, you know, are completely symmetrical, so you can do reverse readings. Some of the designs here get an idea of how amazing their art is. Okay, so overall, I am super, super, super happy with this. It seems fairly nice quality, but it also feels kind of cheap at the same time. And then I don't really like the material that this is made of. The tin case, though, is pretty bomb. This is super friggin' cool. Okay, I'm gonna try and make this quick. I am so mad and so emotional right now. So I am reading The Sun Does Shine by Anthony Ray Hinton. This is a story about a man who ended up on death row for a crime that he didn't commit, and kind of the horrible realities of his situations, and I guess how he kind of dealt with it. Like, it's a good book. It's very well written. If it wasn't a story about race and the real life experience of somebody who was, like, the injustice of it all is just, so yeah, that's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at right now. I did finish editing 2 videos that I'm going to upload after I switch my internet, hopefully tomorrow. Okay, I'm gonna try this one more time. This is so hard, you guys. Anyway, I'm continuing to read The Sun Does Shine, and I highly recommend this book. Like, highly recommend this book. I will say that reading his wrongful conviction in the beginning of this book is really hard, but once he gets on death row and I guess gets a sort of personal awakening. It is beautiful to hear his perspective and his thoughts while on death row and what he tries to do while there and opening up and like friendships that are built and all of that. And I am very interested in seeing now how this ends. But yeah, it's made me think a lot. Okay, so I ended up working on some mermaid sketches to use for the mermaid challenge next month, and so that I can pick one to use for the May Patreon rewards. So I'm probably going to use the first 2 designs that I end up posting on Instagram to be the Patreon rewards, so that on day 2 I can share what the rewards are. I could also have those just be extra and different, but I don't know. I'm thinking at the end of the month I'm gonna put all of these into a sketchbook that showcases some of the actual sketches along with some of my old mermaid drawings, and then in the front it would have the the finished pieces for mermaid this year. So I decided to spend a few minutes replying to comments. Thank you again to everybody who takes the time to leave comments. I am apparently a month behind. Some of the older comments are a month old. I do go and reply to a few fairly regularly, but I just haven't been doing a good job keeping up with everything. So it's probably going to take me a while to get through all of these. I've commented on some recent ones, and then typically what I do is I go back to the oldest and go through those. Today just didn't go quite as planned. I ended up spending like 4 hours trying to get the Xfinity internet set up with like troubleshooting and trying different things. But yeah, I did finish The Sun Does Shine by Anthony Ray Hinton, and this book is absolutely fantastic. It's heart-wrenching, it's heartwarming, it's thought-provoking, it's emotional, it's educational, it's really good. It was really well written, it was really well executed, the audiobook was fantastic. 5 stars. I highly recommend this. I am tired. I was gonna try and work on mermaid art / May Patreon reward art. I did technically transfer stuff to my iPad and start working on it, but I didn't get very far. I'm so tired now, so I don't think I'm gonna do much for the rest of the night, and I'm gonna stop talking now. Catch you later. Good morning. Today is Wednesday, and I am annoyed at Kiwi, but she's being cute. When you're mad at your animal, but they're being cute, it's hard to stay mad when she just wants to cuddle. She's being mean to the other cats, though. I actually was physically reading How to Love a Jamaican. Okay, so I want to do some drawing, so I think I'm going to start listening to the audio for A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I've heard good things for this. This is one of my YouTubers' favorite picked prompt. So I guess currently my active reads are going to be these 2. So I did want to get through the first one. So maybe I might try and do that real quick. And then once I'm done with that, I'll switch over to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I have several hours before work. Yeah, because I woke up real early today. So let's see if I can get through this first story. I just realized I matched the book today. Okay, so I ended up finishing the first story in How to Love a Jamaican, and I feel like it was pretty good. It feels like it ended a little bit abruptly, and I kind of wanted a little bit more meaning or purpose behind it. So I wouldn't necessarily say I loved it, but it was an interesting experience. Anyway, so now I'm going to be picking up, or technically the audiobook for A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, because I'm hoping to work a little bit on my May Patreon reward art, because it's already Wednesday and I'm hoping to order April and May's Patreon reward stuff by the end of this week, and I won't be able to do that if I don't have the May art done. So I'm going to be working on some of that before work. I don't have too much more time left, so I should probably just jump into it, and then I'll share with you along the way, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so I am currently listening to the audiobook for A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Totally up my alley. I totally love like detective mystery type stories, so this is great.
To receive my blessings.
Yeah.
But I see in you a desire to find knowledge.
That's definitely okay. All right. Well.
I'm not gonna lie. I was all like, if someone just showed me a map real quick, I am not gonna remember a damn thing. I'm gonna be like, green?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so we just finished playing Dungeon World, and that was a lot of fun. I really enjoy that game, especially the non-combat aspects of it, which I just find so amusing, because when I play Dungeons and Dragons, I do like the combat, although I am a little bit interested, or like more interested now in the non-combat bits of D&D. Also, it's just the group that I'm with. Okay, so I am doing my makeup and listening to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and we just got to a part where they're kind of investigating some things, and they've got some information from somebody who's not super reliable, but they like right off the bat are like, you're wrong. Like, that's impossible, instead of even kind of entertaining the situation. And it's like, you guys are dumb. Like, even if this person is incorrect, and even if this person is wrong, to not even give them a chance is kind of like, you are dumb. So far I've been really enjoying the book, but like that part I was like, you guys, I know this could easily be misdirection, but like, you're not even entertaining the possibility. What are you doing, sir? Here we go. Okay. things. Okay, so I am thinking for Mermaid that my theme might actually be floral, right? So I'm thinking that I can do a different plant every day with mermaids. So just like mermaids and flowers, and that's the theme, because I want to draw more flowers just in general, and I thought that that would go together. That may or may not be what I do, but that's the plan right now. Okay, I just finished my last meeting of the day. I still have a couple of things that I want to do, kind of check in on stuff. I did all of my big tasks, so right now it's just kind of wrapping things up. I am super close to finishing A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, so I'm really excited. It's funny because I have definitely gone through a couple of emotions throughout this, in like, oh, well, if it goes this way, that'll be pretty disappointing, or if this happens. Something did happen that I wasn't a big fan of, but it got resolved, specifically around the like miscommunication thing. It was resolved in a way that I felt satisfying, even though I'm still annoyed at it happening in the first place. I appreciate that the author didn't drag it out for a ridiculous, unreasonable amount of time, which is another thing that I dislike about that theme. My neck and shoulders hurt so bad, I guess from like sort of hunching over my work computer. And I've only had it for like, I only really use it for a couple of meetings. I'm not doing a bunch of stuff on it. I can't believe it has such a negative effect so quickly. All right, so I have finished a Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and I enjoyed it. I really, really, really liked it. 5 stars for sure. Good morning. So today is a Friday, and I just finished the second story in How to Love a Jamaican, and I feel bad because I'm not enjoying this book. Granted, I'm only 2 stories in. I don't know how many stories there are total, but I'm not that far into it. So basically, the stories kind of feel like this. It's like, okay, here's Zach. Zach has a brother. Zach likes to swim. Zach goes swimming. It's cold. Zach's brother and them have a problem. Later, Zach's brother smiles. The end. That's what it feels like. It just feels all like, here's a person, here's some random thing about that person, here's something that they worry about, here's someone who has an emotion, and it's over. And apparently, which is so funny because I always feel like I'm the type of person who enjoys writing short stories, but apparently I do not like reading them. Like, there's just no plot, and I'm all like, what am I supposed to feel? And that's not entirely true, because I remember Black Enough is a bunch of short stories, and I actually liked most of those short stories, even though I didn't fully love the experience of reading short stories, because after finishing each one, I was like, okay, I'm done. I want to go on to a new like book. I wanted a bigger thing to be invested in. I wanted a full story to complete. Like, every time I finished one, I just didn't feel the satisfaction that you get in finishing a book. So I just wanted to finish that and go on to something else. I enjoy the Jamaican aspects. I love when they have Jamaican characters talk in here. It makes me very happy. I love hearing about some of the culture things that I both am like familiar with and things that I'm not familiar with. Like, I do like that. There isn't something really for me to get behind, and I think it's just simply that I don't really enjoy short stories, because like I said, a book of short stories that I liked, I still didn't really like. That being said, I think I'm going to pick up Love is a Revolution next and try and listen to the audiobook for this while I work. I do have a bunch of meetings today, so I don't really imagine I'm going to get much done into this, but I guess we'll see. I am really tired. I ended up staying up a little bit on the late side last night, and then the cats woke me up early this morning again. I need to bug them throughout the day, because the only night that I ended up getting a fairly like solid amount of sleep was the night before last, and that's because the day before that I just walked around all day and woke the cats up anytime I saw them sleeping, so that basically when it was time to go to bed, they were just as tired as I was, and they just slept through the night. Okay, I just remembered that today is shop launch, so I do have a couple of extra items that I need to add before everything starts promoting the fact that my shop is open. I don't really imagine I'm going to get a lot of sales, if any, which is partially why I started uploading stuff to my shop last night, because I was like, oh, it's not going to be a big deal. I'll just add the stuff to my shop. Okay, all of my shop stuff is good to go. Okay, so we are at the little breakfast spot that we tend to go to that has nice outdoor seating. And I ended up getting a chia jar to go. I love these things. Cafe Central. But yeah, today's gonna be a busy day because I'm doing this, and then I'm also doing lunch with some co-workers, which is a lot more doing of stuff that I'm used to. I don't know if we're gonna try and like eat somewhere together or if we're just gonna grab lunch together. But I guess we'll see. the vlog and let's get into this quick wrap up. Okay, starting with Legendborn. I believe this is the first book I ended up reading this week and I absolutely loved it. Didn't know what to expect, but I did hear a lot of good reviews for it. It's basically about a girl, Bree, who gets accepted into a high school early acceptance program at her dream college. And while she is there, she kind of runs into a fantasy experience that she starts investigating. She ends up learning about these like round table characters and this kind of just fantasy war type thing that's going on and them trying to keep people safe. It ties in with her background and is possibly connected to her mother's recent death. So there's a lot of intrigue going on, a lot of excitement, a lot of interesting things happening, and I adored it. It was so good. I cannot wait until the next book comes out. Next up, I ended up picking up The Near Witch by V.E. Schwab, and this is basically about a really small town or village that has a stranger come in and the kids shortly after start going missing, and we have a tracker hunter girl who is trying to investigate it, doesn't believe that the stranger had anything to do with it, but instead believes that it's connected to something a little bit more magical. So there's like witches involved in this, there's a mystery, there's a little bit of romance, there's a lot of intrigue. I do feel like it was a little bit, it was simple. It was a very simple story. It was kind of straight to the point. The first story I really enjoyed, the second story was fine. It's all related, so there's one big story and then at the end it kind of goes into a different story that kind of relates to the story, which I don't think was necessary, but it was interesting regardless. And yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say I loved the story, but I did really enjoy it. So I think I'm giving it a 4 stars, but I do think it might be forgettable. So I don't know. It's an interesting place to be at. But I did have a good time reading it. Then next up I have The Sun Does Shine by Anthony Ray Hinton, which is How I Found Life and Freedom on Death Row. And this is a nonfiction book about his experience basically being racially discriminated against and sentenced for a crime he didn't commit, and kind of his experience. This was a really emotional book. It really got me thinking. It's kind of hard to read in the beginning, but then it becomes kind of hopeful and inspiring and touching, and I highly recommend this book. I listened to the audiobook and it was really well done, and yeah, it was fascinating and heartbreaking and very thought-provoking, and I think more people should read this because it just gives you an understanding of what happens to people in this situation and what it's like, and it gets you questioning whether or not we should be doing certain things the way that we are. And of course it also points out the horrible racial biases that happen and discrimination that happens towards a lot of people when it comes to our legal system. So emotional, 5 stars. Then after that, I ended up picking up A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, and this is a YA mystery about a girl who decides for her senior thesis type assignment to basically investigate a murder that happened in their town 5 years ago, because she wants to prove that the boy that was blamed for somebody's disappearance is actually innocent. And so she goes through and uncovers a bunch of secrets and things, and it's a wild roller coaster of a ride. I really enjoyed it. There were a couple of instances where I thought, I don't necessarily like the way that this is going, or it's showing a trope that I'm not really a fan of, but I think they did a really good job kind of steering it back into good directions and resolving that stuff really fast. So I actually ended up giving this a 5-star in the end. I really enjoyed it. All right, and then last but not least, I ended up reading 2 stories from How to Love a Jamaican. This is a collection of short stories, and unfortunately I was really disappointed to the point where I kind of wanted DNF this. I think I might try one more story out of it and see how I feel, but apparently short stories just aren't for me. So that pretty much wraps up the reading for this week. I feel like that's a lot less than I'm used to or than I expected, but I don't know. I don't think I'm missing anything. There was obviously a lot of other stuff that we were focusing on this week. I've got the cats are still here. They're supposed to leave either Sunday or Monday. Kiwi's running around like a crazy person, so I hope you can't hear that. You probably can. And then I also launched my shop, so my shop is open. I'm going to be doing shop or order runs once a week on either Tuesdays or Wednesdays, so if you order from my shop, you can expect to get that mailed out on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I see how that goes and may update that in the future, but that's kind of the idea for now. And then I also have been focusing on finishing up the Patreon rewards and getting ready for Mermay next month. So yeah, lots of fun things, trying to get ahead as much as possible and hoping to do some more art stuff, but we'll kind of see how it goes. I did also get some botanical / floral guides and encyclopedias so that I can use them to reference for my mermaid plan, because I'm thinking right now of doing mermaids that are accompanied with different flowers, because I love the way it looks having flowers in art, but I just don't feel very comfortable doing that. Like, I don't feel like I'm really good at it, and it's hard for me to be like, I don't know flower names. How do I look up a specific flower? So I decided that I wanted to get these to reference. So I'll be using those hopefully for the challenge, and I'm pretty excited about that. I also might put together a list of whichever ones that I'm planning on doing for my patrons, if my patrons want to follow along. We'll see how that kind of turns out in the end, because I may switch it up as the actual challenge happens. I do want to be a little bit on the flexible side. But yeah, I did get that suggestion, and thank you so much for that. But yeah, at this point, I think that's everything. I don't want to keep blabbing on. So thank you so much for watching the video. Please post this emoji down below if you've made it this far. If you can't post an emoji, that's also fine. Any comment helps the video and the channel and all that good stuff, and is very, very appreciated. I am still in the process of replying to all of the previous comments, and I am gonna hopefully catch up pretty soon. I got through a good chunk so far, so hopefully we'll be caught up in the next week or so. And yeah, I hope you guys are doing great, and I will see you in the next video. Until next time, bye!